guess the win and some of the things that happened during it will make you feel a little better, I suppose.
Well, it was great. The cancer night was great, and that the jacket that I was wearing was thick. And before the game, I had chills, so it was perfect for me. Like, it kept me warm, and then whatever I had broke, and then I was sweating, but that was warm. That was very warm.
What did you like most about that 30-2 run in the first half?
Well, you don't make runs like that unless you play good defense. I think we had 10 stops in a row, and then we're able to get out and do what we do, which is run. And you know, the second 4 minutes after the first 4-minute timeout to the 12-minute timeout, we made an 18-0 run. Okay, and then the next 4, it went 16-4 in their favor, and so. And we go in at halftime, and you just see they're shooting 50%. It felt like we were playing good because offensively we were playing good. You know, we're shooting the ball, and it's all kinds of fun. But defensively, our kids say you want to be known for defense. They're shooting 50%. We didn't do a very good job. And usually we do a worse job in the second half defensively. So tonight we did a much better job, 33% in the second half. I think we wore them down. I mean, they had 7 guys they were playing. So we were able to wear them down and then get out and run.
I feel like it's an encouraging sign that 2 games in a row now, you've taken a halftime lead, you've built on it, and the game really hasn't been close coming down to the end.
Yeah, I think that helps. Helps our confidence. It got to within 12 tonight with about 6 minutes to go, I think, in that timeout, and our guys did a nice job of then pushing it out. But you can't do that unless you play good defense.
It was pretty obvious their strategy part of it was switching so they could get somebody short on a tall or a short guy underneath. But how do you counter that? You double teamed them?
We did some. We did some. Sometimes we switched, sometimes we didn't. So we tried to keep them off balance. So one thing about our team and why I think we've been pretty good defensively is we're able to sometimes switch, sometimes not switch, sometimes switch certain positions and not others. And our guys have done a really good job of executing that. And so we're just, as soon as the team gets comfortable with whatever they're doing, Hawk does a good job of switching that up so that we can get them off of that, and they've got to go to try to get to something else.
Obviously, this team has struggled from the three-point line so far this year, but at the beginning of this one, Drew hits 2, Rollins hits 2 right away. How nice was it to see? This is the third time we played these guys, and we weren't a great shooting team last year. We're worse this year, and we knew how they played us last year, very tight. And so for us to hit those shots early for Drew and then Rollins, to go 4 in a row, it forced their defense out away from the basket and kind of it opened some other things up for us. We're a better shooting team than we've shot this year in terms of the percentage. Everybody thinks we shot great tonight. We shot 33% from 3, but that's pretty good for us. If we could stay at that, and they're going to force us. We took 27. I don't know how many times we've done that this year, but not very often. But we knew they were going to force us to shoot the ball, and we needed to make some of them. And you mentioned it at the top a little bit, Blackout Cancer Night tonight. How huge was it to get a victory in a night like tonight where a lot of people feel it's more than a game of basketball?
Yeah, well, it's we talked to our players about it before the game. And somebody asked me, do you think wearing somebody else's name on the back of your jersey would make your guys play harder? And I said, if we have to do that to get our guys to play hard, then we're not doing our job. But there is something about playing for somebody else versus playing for yourself. And I think you do a better job. I always tell our players, if you're going to clean the room for yourself, you won't do a great job. You clean the room because your mom's coming and you want it to look nice for her, you're going to do a better job. And so to be able to wear somebody's name, it's very important that our guys understand that not everybody's focused on them and basketball and all these other things. We've had everybody in there, guarantee has had somebody that has been impacted by it in one way or another. Close family member, distant family member. My dad passed away 4 years ago of leukemia, so we've all been hit by it in one way or another. And so it's good for our guys just to have a different focus than always them being the center of attention.